what you want.
Welcome back, episode 38 of the No Means No Thing, No Means Nothing podcast.
We enter middle age.
The show, we enter middle age, and three complete idiots attempt the futile task of attempting to find the best No Means No song of all time by pitting them bracket style, one against the other, for an episode, till we find the very, very best one, tells us the last one standing. And spoilers, of course, there is no best No Means No song. They're all fucking good.
Yeah, there
except
is.
for Beat on the Brat. But we'll find out. And you know what? We're not that far from round one being done. So there'll be some good announcements soon about how round two is going to go, what input we'll need from you. We'll probably have to get your input on what songs that were unceremoniously kicked to the curb need to be brought back into the fold. So stay tuned. Probably in the next 2 or 3 episodes, we'll start to lay all that out for you before we take a well-deserved little break, because we've done a whole bunch of fucking episodes, and I'm feeling old.
Mm-hmm.
So as all of
shows.
you, it does. As all of you out there know, before we start talking about these dreams, we need to
We didn't
get
introduce ourselves.
in the. Oh, I didn't. Look at me, already fucking the
I
shit
know who
right
you
up.
are.
I am one of your hosts, Jordan.
I'm Matthew, and I have the sniffles.
Oh no.
Oh, you got the nipples.
My name's Michelle, and I'm a fan of Guinness beer.
Hey, you know what I never
She
noticed
is
is we can see in the background a different musical instrument in each of our backgrounds.
Oh, that's true.
What? Your drums and my melodica?
And my guitars. And bass.
Okay, Matthew's telling us some very interesting information.
He's giving me the high sign. He's switching headphones. We're already off to a really good start, ladies and gentlemen.
Nano.
But as you all know, I'm just going to keep going because Matthew's putting on headphones. Before we dive into the songs themselves, now I can say this part. We like to do a little segment called The Power of Positive Drinking. We've got Matthew back.
Yep.
And I've got my ice cold whiskey. Put an ice in there today because it's a little bit hot. Not as hot as that one fucking day, but it's a little bit hot. So I'm going to have some cold ass whiskey and a cup of coffee. So I'm taking with one hand, getting with the
there
other.
you go.
Twofers.
And my coffee mug has a big old Sasquatch on it. That's how fucking cool that shit is.
Lovely.
Do you like Sasquatches? I can send you a ton of shit.
Oh yeah, man. I'm a Bigfoot guy.
Like,
There's
you
another.
want some
God damn it.
Band-Aids? You want
I'm
some
sorry.
Band-Aids?
You're a
There is
Bigfoot guy.
there. I am.
You're
There
really
is
into
a. There's one of our listeners is also deeply into this, and I forget your name. Please forgive me, but I know you're out there, so there you go, buddy.
Just like Bigfoot.
You and me,
I know you're out there.
just like
I'm a
Bigfoot, Michelle, and we
Bigfoot
both
guy.
take very blurry photos. It's very sad. Michelle, what do you got for us tonight?
I'm gonna send you a care package of Sasquatch.
shit. I am
I've
looking
got.
forward to it.
I will.
Sam Squanch.
Oh,
Oh, here comes those sexual noises. When this beer gets open. Oh, I've got to move it closer.
oh.
Jordan, Jesus
It's
Christ.
just the best ASMR ever. I love it.
That's
You
pretty
need
good.
this in your life more.
I think one of these times I'm going to try to engineer it so that pans left to right in the user's ear, just sort of
I'd like
pour
that.
from left to right as it slowly.
I'll make that
fills
my
the
new
cup.
ringtone.
Yeah, perfect. All right, Matthew. Usually our most interesting of the beverage choices. Were you just going to do the other option that we didn't pick last time?
Yeah,
Is
that
where we're at
was
tonight?
my idea. Yeah.
All right, what do we got? What is
Where
it?
is
do
it?
I-
Why are you smirking?
Do I still sound? No. Do I still sound okay? I don't want to make sure that it didn't when I put in these headphones.
You sound good. That has not
Okay,
changed.
That's good.
It
Yeah.
did not change to
Yeah.
the
No, you
headphone
sound
mic.
Just
fine.
wanted
You
to make
sound
sure it
good.
didn't switch to. Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Nope.
Good. Oh, say,
Luckily, I think Zencaster's pretty good about that.
so I have this stuff.
Oh God!
Oh, that's right. It's the radium.
No, the
God.
other one, which
Oh no, the other one is
the
radium.
other one
This is
pretty
more
much
dark
just
and-
It
looked
looks
and
like
tasted
Prel.
like Mountain Dew.
It looks like Prel shampoo.
It does look like Prel shampoo or
Yeah.
aloe vera, like a thing of aloe vera you'd squirt on
Yeah.
after
This
a
is-
sunburn, maybe.
Tarhun, which is tarhun.
Tarhun?
It is originally a Georgian drink, which became popular in the Soviet Union.
Mm.
It is a tarragon flavored
Tarhun.
beverage, and I had this
Ooh,
when I
hell
we
yeah.
in the Soviet Union in 1988. For the first time I was in, it was very,
Oh.
very hot in Odessa.
Whoa.
We were at a zoo, an old school, very sad zoo with like iron bars type of thing.
Oh, like
Yeah.
in cages and
And
stuff.
I was drinking
oh,
a
that's
Tarhun.
awful.
On these
Awful.
weird.
Did you give
He
some to
didn't
the
want it.
gorilla?
He didn't want it. He
He's
was too
probably
depressed.
hot.
He wouldn't drink it.
So
He wouldn't drink
yeah.
it. Too sad.
How-
Too sad.
Aw.
Too green.
I'm gonna-
Too green.
All
I'm
right.
wondering
We'll
whether
crack it
it's,
open.
try
Let us,
whether
give
it's
us a
carbonated
report.
or not. No.
Oh no,
Is it
I didn't
bubbly?
hear any fizz.
These
I didn't hear a
Ukrainian beverages
Oh.
that I've been buying, they don't. Yeah, maybe they like them flat.
They like them flat.
Oh God. Oh.
Well, that's
Looks like
also
absinthe.
wormwood
Yeah.
is
Yeah. Or like.
wormwood is in the same family, Artemisia family as tarragon. Yeah.
Oh, well, so there you go.
What's those drinks you get with the tincture? You put the drops in
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Isn't one of
that's
those
absinthe.
green? One of those the things.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
absinthe, right? Yeah, you
There
have
we
a whole
go.
process
Yep.
to that.
Bilious
shit.
green
All right.
tarhun.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy.
All right.
I.
Cheers, you
It's a
two.
good looking color. I think my walls
That's a good
cup
looking
painted
color. I
that
think
color.
these
Actually.
we got brown, really dark brown, and green. We're pretty
Smells a
good.
little medicinal, but it
Rainbow.
tastes pretty
Yeah.
good.
Rainbow fruit flavors.
Yeah.
Oh, he smelled it. Oh, good.
All right, well, listeners, crack yours open wherever you're at. Whether you're at the gym,
It
you know,
smells like
crack
real
open a
love.
nice, crack open a cold one at the gym, in your office, in the toilet, in the backyard, on the beach, wherever you're at right now. Walking your really
jail.
cute dog, but not on the road, of course. If you're listening on the road, we know that you're driving responsibly,
Let's
or
hope
at least it's not the alcohol causing you to drive irresponsibly. That's what I'd ask. And hopefully not the podcast either, as you yell at us about the shit that we have gotten wrong, because we get a lot wrong.
Yeah.
So let's start our first pairing. So in this corner, again, I one of the things I always like to talk about is how we can't really talk about it until we hit round two. There's a nice little parallel, again, in the way that the Terrible Machine pulled this up. We got two really great originals and two really great covers.
Yeah.
And we got an original going up against a cover in each of the matchup. So it's pretty fucking great and weird. But our first matchup of the very diminishing number of songs that are left, All the Little Bourgeois Dreams from Tour EP2 2010 versus Forward to Death off the Virus 100 compilation 1992, which is a cover of the Dead Kennedys song off of Fresh Fruit and Rotting Vegetables from 1980. So we're going to pit these two against each other and see who comes out the other side a victor. But before I let Matthew dive into that first song, we're going to put our heads on the pillow and see what dreams may come.
I drive around the whole day long just to make a living wage. At night I sit and watch TV like a monkey in a cage. When I was young, the summer sun lasted for an age. But now the days just fly away to where I cannot say. Never ask a question that has no answer. Never look beyond what is to what is no more. Will they ever win the war? Find a cure for cancer? Will my pension carry me to that distant shore? All is what it seems. It means just what it means. The sky is blue and the grass is green. In all the living bourgeois dreams.
All right, Mr. Kowalik, what you got for us on these bourgeois dreamies?
I'm just moving the light towards myself. It's actually I'm shading.
Step
my own
into
writing.
the light, Caroline.
So this is one that never really shone for me. So it's interesting to listen to a little more closely. Musically, it's just not all that interesting, except for the drums, which is probably the main thing. The rest of the music is, it doesn't really stand out too much. But the drums are what knits the whole thing together, and what is maybe the sort of unifying theme, because they're very martial.
I had that word. Exact word. Yep.
Yeah. It's
I
like
didn't have that word.
yeah. So they're very sort of military sounding, but you get that sort of thing in a couple different contexts. You get that at a in the military. Obviously, you get it in a marching band at a high school, and you get it at sometimes at funerals. I think particularly Scottish funerals. So it's
Nice.
sort of knitting it all together, like the different parts of one's life, and I think that's what it is. It is a song about how it starts. It's a younger person. The first six stanzas are, other than the chorus, of course, are a younger person, and there's sort of mundane worries versus existential worries that a young person might worry about, and then later on, there's sort of a very long and interesting. The drums are complex, but they're complex in the same way up until that middle point, and then he sort of goes out on a limb a little bit and sort of a little bit more. Playing around the theme, I guess, and then he comes back, and the lyrics are an older person. So I guess it's sort of a journey through somebody's life, and they're sort of still having the same kinds of worries. Just that we all just sort of this is what it is. It is what it is. That is my least favorite expression. That seems to be in the pop culture these days. I really dislike that expression. It is what it is, because that is it's an expression of helplessness, and that is all is what it seems. It means just what it means. It's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a Japanese expression, shikataganai, c'est la vie in French. It is like, but shikataganai is a little bit more. It's like you will be subject to. There's nothing that can be done. It can't be helped. But it's like more sort of cultural. Like if you step outside the boundaries, things are going to be difficult for you. And I think that's kind of what this song is a little bit about. Yeah, it's like even the young person, there is almost numbness in the face of tragedy, and there's a very kind of sunny feel to the song. It's it's sunny day, let's dance and play type lyrics. But he's talking about daddy died and they don't know why, and my older brother moved away, and then will I pass my driving test? Will I ever know who I am or who you are? So it's light and dark, and it's a more interesting song than I gave it credit for, like so many of these do. But then it gets super dark during the drum. I don't want to call it a solo, because he's not really going, crazy or really showing off. It's like definitely sort of around, comes back to the same theme, but maybe that's kind of what life does as well. It's almost these quiet strings come in, and it starts to feel a little more funerary. And then the sound, the tone goes right down, and it's almost more of a dirge. And then there's samples of screaming, and I can't really hear it well enough to hear whether it's like children in a playground or like people screaming during an invasion or something like that. So maybe that's intentional, but there are a lot of samples and interesting electronic effects in this song, and this is again one of these ones in the tour EPs where I'm kind of like would have been interested to see where they went. There's even like an effect on the snare where it just cuts off really suddenly. It's like an electronic effect on the snare.
Oh, I think I heard that too. Yeah, it sounded like an electric drum. Just
I don't know if it's an electric drum or just something they did sort of post production.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But yeah, sort of during that middle bit, it becomes kind of dark and uncertain, and then the sun comes out again, and he's singing that same tone, but except he's singing about more existential stuff, and I sit and watch TV like a monkey in a cage, and his mourning his youth. And interestingly, there is a mistake. Will they ever win the war or find a cure for cancer? And somebody transcribed it as "Will my patience carry me?"
My patience,
but it's pension. Clearly, pension.
Well, my pension.
Oh God!
But I don't mind patience.
That's not even a hard.
I don't mind that mistake, because it's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Will my patience carry me, or will I? Am I tired of waiting?
Am I tired of waiting?
Maybe.
Oh, don't you dangle that
No,
one
I
in
just think
front of
that
me.
maybe the person who transcribed it. I think that transcription is certainly in No Means No's wheelhouse. It's just incorrect.
Yeah. It's
No,
not as
for
bad
sure.
as some of the others we've seen.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, never look beyond what is to what is no more. So yeah, you can't let it get you down. But I guess that is, it is what it is. I guess that's about all I got. Interesting song, but I sure like listening to those drums, especially in my car with the good
Oh,
good
yeah.
sound. And
Yeah.
wow, he's a master of those rolls. And it's a style of drumming which doesn't really come up much in No Means No. I mean, it uses elements of it, but this was specifically
Right.
like marching band type stuff, and it's
Yep.
nice to see those
Yep.
chops.
And this
Yep.
is the one, didn't he do a bunch with that like floor tom and the bass pedal? Wasn't there a
I'm
little
sure,
span
yeah.
in there where he was like, this guy's got to have double pedals, and it's like, the hell?
Yeah, it really
But I
sounds
think
like
it's
it's
a real
just
big
nuts.
floor tom that makes it sound like that. But
Yeah,
it's
it could
just
be.
it's polished.
All right, Strangey.
It's
Oh yeah,
a
go ahead.
profoundly lonely song. I
Yeah,
think.
good description. Strangey, what you got for us
All
on
right.
this little on these little dreams?
Is the beginning Rob singing in the shower? Sounds like it. I'd like to think it's Rob singing in the shower. Okay, so the drum part, and I'm going to go on a long stretch here. There is a song by Howard Jones. I love Howard Jones, and I'm not embarrassed to say it. There's a song by Howard Jones that's probably my absolute favorite of his, and it's called Hide and Seek. I love this song, and it makes me cry. It's a beautifully, beautifully written song. But the drum part that John's playing is very much like that. When I heard that, I was like, where have I heard that before? And I realized there was some little discrepancies that were different, but it very much has that same kind of vibe. So I liked kind of combining those two things or thinking about that. I hope you know what I mean. But anyways, it reminded me of that. So back to this tune. I quite like the idea they are going with here with the lyrics and stuff, but the song really doesn't do much for me. I like about a third of the lyrics, and I really like the creepy violin music in the background during John's drum lay down. And speaking of John's lay down, holy shit with that. There's some terrific parts in here that are really eye-opening. Maybe I need to give more of a chance, or maybe not hold their past catalog over their head so much, but not really a giant fan of this one. But I guess I need to just digest it a little bit more.
All right. Well, I think as usual with songs that are in this particular vein for No Means No, I put like The World Wasn't Built in a Day in this category, and maybe a few others. I think this song's fucking masterpiece. I absolutely adore it. It's one of my favorites off the tour EPs. I think it is a brilliant statement. I absolutely agree. It's not pyrotechnic, right? But I think that kind of as you both talked about, Matthew really zeroed in on, I think it's not meant to be, right? The music is done in a very particular way to serve what the song is saying, what Rob is singing about. He's not letting style get in the way of the meaning, the purpose. He's willing to not be flashy in order to, I think, serve the themes more. And I love that. I think that's fucking genius. I think this is a masterpiece. I know that this is one of Parker's favorites in the later catalog as well. He and I really, really dig on this song together a lot.
That's cool.
And yeah, I mean, Matthew, you talk in terms of lyrically, I think you hit on a lot of what I'd want to talk about. I really, it's a very profoundly lonely song. I think I really love the evolution of how in each of these sections, this first, middle, and end section, which it definitely is, follows someone from childhood into youth, into old age rather, or middle age at least. There's this looking towards those questions that feel big, especially when you're a kid, about, am I going to make the baseball team? Will someone love me? Those seem really big. Yeah. And then later in life, you look at those and you sort of think of them as like, oh, that was quaint, that I thought that was important, but it felt really important at the time.
Yes, yeah.
And yet on the other side, there's these other, the existential questions alongside those questions in the beginning are kind of really childish. It's, will the ground stay beneath my feet and the sky above me? Just those kind of questions of like, what is it that keeps me planted to the earth? Like, how is that even possible? Is that going to go away at some point? And I know, having my own kids, like, those are things they wonder as kids. Like, what does this even mean? Right. So the existential questions are very much, will I be forever young? Am I going to be like this forever? These are things I really feel that kids do ask, but there's this great dichotomy of, all the questions here for this kid are important, but some are with the earthly things and some are just like, what the fuck is this world that I live in? Then there's the second verse, which is very fucking dark and very sad, about this father who dies. It really feels to me like it's alluding that there's a suicide. The mom sits at home, blames herself and cries. The brother who just goes away. So this kid's clearly deeply traumatized in grief himself, in a family that doesn't know how to deal with the grief. And after these two verses of just this horror show of what this kid's living through, it's, will I pass my driving test? Will I get my very first car? These questions are still important to them. Even in the midst of all this trauma, you're still stuck in the rhythms of the bourgeois life, in all this shit that is just what it seems. It means just what it means. So I've got to hit the markers, got to get my driving test. Am I going to get a car? And then these other words creep in. Will I ever know who I am or who you are? Which in the teenage years, these questions of identity, of what actually am I and what actually are you? It's this real adolescent questioning that is kind of gets to the heart. I think Rob, again, really perfectly distills the questions that are important at each of these stages in life. And then, will I work at the corner store? What's my job going to be? Am I going to just have a fucking job at the corner store? Am I going to save money? But will I ever really know the price I have to pay? Like, starting to see himself going out into the world, and what the fuck is that going to mean? And then that middle section, the drum section, is insane. And it does start with that just martial rhythm. And I really love how actually between each of these sections, it just reduces down to just the drums.
Yep.
And it's so lonely. It's just this bum,
and
bum,
it's a march.
Bum, 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 bum. It's just so echoey and lonely, and just, that's it. It's a march. It's a march towards death, right? Like, it's just this march towards death. And it's also that it just captures the sadness underneath the whole fucking song. And then this middle section, passing from youth into adulthood, starts with that march and then just gets fucking brutal and just breaks down and gets surreal. And you have those key strings just pulling my consciousness down. And that it's definitely recordings of kids playing in a playground, but I've had this experience many, many times where you're like, I've lived near playgrounds most of my life, and you're getting a certain frame of mind. You absolutely cannot tell whether the kids are out there having fun or whether they're all screaming in terror for their life. You cannot tell. And it's the way the drums play underneath it change it from one to the other, because there's the way he plays it with the really low toms at first. It really makes it sound like a bunch of people screaming for their life, a bunch of kids screaming for their life. And then almost everything lets up and you just have a really light drum underneath it. And then I can just hear the kids playing. And then the really dark toms come in again and it's everybody screaming for their life. And so it's the same sample underneath it, but the way the drums come underneath it changes the way I hear it in this ping pong that then just brings it into this, really existential fucking dread. And then back to the just, and the music for me, it is very simple, but it's just this, the sense of being in complete denial about the kind of blue velvet, sick underground Lynchian element of life, right? That part that's underneath it all. But it's that same sort of thing, how Lynch will put on this, Lynch will have this layer of saccharin on top of something that's deeply rotted. And I feel like the way the music just keeps that kind of happy tone, but underneath there's all these elements that subvert it, and it makes that subversion more powerful because the guy never wants to give up the fact that he's trying to just da 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 da, and that's so powerful to me. He could have been more flashy, they could have gone with some pyrotechnics, but just the fact that they kept on, just like this guy's keeping on through his whole life. There's not a lot of variety. They're just he keeps trying, he keeps doing it. all is what it seems. It means just what it means. The sky is blue and the grass is green,
The
right?
third
It's just,
man.
that's how it's going to be. And then this last section is devastating. You know, it's the guy who's now all he can do is look back. His life is fucking meaningless. He sits around, watches TV like a monkey in a cage. And that verse, when I was young, the summer sun lasted for an age, but now the days just fly away to where I cannot say. That is heartbreaking. And I so relate to it. We all can in one way or another, even if we're living happy lives, right? Like there's just that feeling of lost youth. And for someone dealing with this shit, I can only imagine those questions would be even more arch. And, you know, never ask a question that has no answer. Never look beyond what is to what is no more. It's so bleak and yet
That's
so
a good
honest
tattoo.
and true.
Never ask a question
right?
that has no answer.
Platitudes. Yeah.
Which is not, and again, like that's not, he's not actually giving the advice, right? These are the things that people, that the world, the bourgeois world tells you to do. They're platitudes. Never look beyond what is to what is no more. It's like, no, this is that person, I think, really now finally kind of questioning that. Like, what? Is that how I live my fucking life? Like, really? This is the shit? You know, I don't know, man. I think that this is a brave song by fucking Rob in the sense that he let all the parts of it serve that vision, that meaning. And like most of the best No Means No song, the whole thing is very unified. All the pieces fit together. And you know, you could put these lyrics with a song that sounded more flashy and it just wouldn't have the effect for me because it wouldn't, it needs to have, it doesn't mean that makes it a good song or that someone has to like it, but I love it because I feel the complete statement by Rob in this. And I really mourn for where he would have gone, hearing this, seeing that it's just a different direction in all these EPs, but I just feel like he was willing to take chances as a musician, not feeling like he had to prove anything, but could just take a statement and really craft it in the way he wanted to craft it and give us a statement that was complete in itself. And they did that all throughout their career. I'm not saying he only did that later on, but it's just different. It's a different,
I know,
clearly different than any of their other fucking songs, but I absolutely love this song. I think it's a masterpiece.
And I didn't mention also that, you know, the fact that it's late in the career and he's sort of staring down retirement, I'm sure. And he was living his little bourgeois dream by that point. He was living
on the golf
Burnaby.
golf course.
Near a golf course down the hill from a big, like the second largest mall in Canada. Burnaby is a suburb. Burnaby is like the suburb.
I like that place.
Burnaby?
I like Burnaby.
That's
yeah.
Okay. Burnaby is like, it used to be farmland. There was Vancouver, there was New Westminster, and Burnaby was like the road in between them, and it just sort of filled in. So
where was that place Tom went? He took us to, it was a goddamn, it was an ice cream, no, what's that Italian ice cream? He took us, and they had
gelato?
They had like 3 million gelato
That's
flavors.
not in Burnaby, though.
Oh, all right. I thought it was. Whatever. I like Burnaby.
She retracts her love for Burnaby.
I'd like to retract half the shit I said about it because, like, I feel like a douche.
Listen, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people out there who feel the same way that you do about this song. I would encourage everyone, though, with all these tour EP songs, like, give them another spin. I think many of us didn't give these the love they deserved.
Definitely.
Or maybe not the love. That's the wrong thing to say. We didn't give them the attention they deserved. I think they deserve another listen.
I need to embrace Rob and the Lazy Boy because I don't know. I guess
it's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
It is.
This is Rob not banging away at his bass like a madman. This is Rob contemplating in front of Pro Tools, making something like that, right?
It's a different. Boy.
It's different,
the Lazy Boy chair.
I'm here for it. All right, well, that was that song. Let's move on to something way back.
Kind of the same theme,
every
though,
fucking
isn't
ways.
it?
Yeah, kind of. From 1992. I remember. Well, anyway, I'll talk about when this came out. But this is Forward to Death. So let's look back at this song and scoop us up some death.
That's sounding all like the way a snare sounds. Brings me down.
So much hate and so much pain, I can't take it. Another hate is such a bore. Gets me really sore. I don't need this fucking world. I don't need this fucking world. This will break me down. Gotta with every breath. This will break me down. I'm looking for the day.
Matthew, what you got?
Scoop us up some
Virus
death.
100.
Yeah, Forward to Death is a Dead Kennedys cover from Virus 100, which is Alternative Tentacles' 100th release, and there's a whole bunch of bands covering.
It's
Dead
so
Kennedys
good.
songs. And I didn't actually realize that this one was 1980.
Yeah,
first
pretty early.
for Rotting Vegetables. I know the album really well. I just didn't know it was that early. That's pretty cool. I'm wondering whether this may be one of the last.
I was going to ask that
Kennedy
too.
songs
Yeah.
recorded or released. Yeah. And of course, it is an a cappella
God,
version.
isn't it?
If you have not heard it, you should check
Jesus.
it out. Look it up on YouTube
Fucking
or
listen
whatever.
to it.
This is actually one of the only Nomizo songs that I never bothered to get myself because I was never that big of a DK fan, and I wasn't all that much of a fan of many of the bands on there. Which I don't know. It's quite the
It's
the
pretty great.
cross-section.
There's some
Oh,
great shit.
it's
And by the way, I will.
that's
I'm going to put this
amazing
entire.
album.
This song is short enough that the entire song will be in the clip.
I
just
was
before.
going to
So
ask
people will
you,
have-
can you just
people
play the
will have
whole
heard-
thing? You
They
can't
will.
take
It's
a
short enough.
segment
People
out
will
of
have
it.
heard the whole
God,
thing. Yeah.
it's so good. So
There's
good.
Steel Pole Bath Pub on this.
Yep.
Is it Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy?
L7.
Yeah, there's like some great fucking bands.
Oh.
Faith No More, I think.
Oh, who did Moon Over Marin? That was Alice Donut, wasn't it?
I think so,
I
yep.
think
Yeah,
Alice
probably.
Donut. I don't know, but it was
It's a great CD.
Yeah. So this song is pretty much the exact opposite of all the Little Bourgeois Dreams.
Yeah.
It's like in the protagonist in Bourgeois Dreams is he's trying not to let everything get to him, and this guy lets everything get to him. I don't need your way of life. I don't need this fucking world. I'm looking forward to death. Okay, that is like pure punkity punk.
Punkity
kind
punk,
of
punk,
sentiment.
punk.
Yeah.
Punkity punk.
Hell of a fun song. I actually like I listened to the DK version a couple times and was more tolerant of Jello's vocal stylings in it.
Well, it was early Jello
it's,
too, which is a little different. I found than later Jello. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, totally. I found myself wondering and trying to break down as I listened to it how many different parts, because there's more vocal parts than there are instruments in the original song. Every voice on the drum and every different parts of the guitar, and it's pretty fantastic. And I found myself wondering who did which, because obviously it's reassembled,
totally
not done live,
Mhm.
but like who did which bit, like the bap. I think the snare is. Yeah, that one probably. Yeah.
Who do you think?
Yeah.
Who do you? Come on, Matthew.
I don't know.
I mean,
know
I'm not going to put any,
John. Actually,
I'm not going to put any pressure on him. But any
You wanna make a
notes
bet?
we can get, any notes we can get on this one from Andy, I would fucking love to know how
Oh
this
my
one is made.
God.
Holy
Yeah.
But I think my absolute favorite is the pick slide.
Boo. Can you do that when you shake your head? Yeah, Jordan, you just did it.
so fucking good.
I bet you they did that. I bet they did that exact move.
Well, absolutely.
Not very much to say about the song, except that it's very faithful, despite the fact that it is very different. I mean, obviously it's an a cappella version. It is extremely faithful to the original. They listened to it in great detail and said clearly, there's these little filigree here and there, and we got to record a bit of that. So it's fantastic. It's a fantastic piece of work, and I wonder how long it took them to record it and then put it all back together again. Yeah. So that's it.
Nice. All right, Strangey. How about you?
All right, I want to make an apology. Alice Donut covered Halloween, which is a very good cover of it. They didn't do Moon Over Marin. That was Les Thugs. I don't know. I could.
I got to go back and listen to this whole fucking thing. Man. There's some great
this
songs on
album
there.
is sick. If it had the word "no" means no on it, I bought it, and I was glad I
me
bought
too.
it because this was kicking.
Yeah.
And it also introduced me to a lot of Dead Kennedy stuff because I was a very late bloomer to this Dead Kennedy stuff. And this was one of the ones I was like, I need to check these guys out a little bit more. Anyways, let's talk about the beginning. What did that go? And I thought I heard
the way the
it-
snare sounds.
Yeah, it's snare sounds. I thought it was
Yeah,
air.
I can think of the way the snare sounds.
Yeah, I thought it was air sounds, and it sounds like Les Claypool, doesn't it?
That's kind of sounds I think that's
Snare.
John. I think it's John. That sounds like his sneery little like, I've come to work and I've brought my lunch sort of voice.
That was my next sentence. This has got John written all over it. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I
His
bet you he did
arranging
most
chops.
of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fully
I bet
arranged
you
this
he
fucker.
did most of the background stuff for sure. I almost don't even hear Rob at all, but once in a while I can hear him pop in
Right at
there.
the
I
end.
think he did the.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's
I could
pretty low. It sounds like it's in Rob's kind of baritone.
It's kind of a
Plus he's
roar at
used
the
to his
end
neck
as well.
neck going
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth. If you don't know anything about this band before hearing this, you'd be super impressed with the delivery. And if you do know this band, it's pretty impressive with the audacity to cover a song like this in this crazy a cappella version. The balls this took and the hilarity everyone must have felt upon hearing it for the first time. I bet you they sent this in and they put it out and like, oh my God, they're fucking nuts. Like, this is great. It's fucking crazy. This Virus 100, I'm gonna use the space here. My favorite song on this CD or whatever way you have it is California Uber Alice.
Oh,
by
it's
the
so good.
Disposable. Holy shit!
Yeah, Disposable
Isn't that-
Heroes of Hypocrisy.
Oh
It's so
my
good.
God.
So good.
You-
And actually, one of the few that they really changed up the lyrics to make them more timely to 1990 rather than
Yeah.
But the,
like they actually change a bunch of the verses. But it's so fucking
oh my
good.
God, that guy's voice. What's his name?
Michael Franti.
I don't.
Oh my God, Matthew. Do you
Is
know
it
which
Michael
one I'm talking
Franti?
about?
Yeah.
Yep.
Seriously, I had no
Yeah.
idea. My wife loves Michael Franti. I didn't know he was the head.
Yeah.
of Disposable Heroes.
Yeah.
Big fucking hippie.
Sweet.
He has hugged me many times.
Oh
no, he's
man,
great. He's
really?
fucking great.
Yeah.
Oh, his voice on this, he sounds like Chuck D. It's just juicy
So
as
fucking
fuck.
good.
Oh my God. Anyways, back to No Means No. This is one of those that you could listen to over and over again with the vocal instrumentals and or just there's so much to listen to in this.
Mm-hmm.
If you focus on the words, that's one thing with Andy being aggro and stuff, which is just a great splat.
Yeah, he doesn't dial it back,
of
does
the
he?
words.
No,
No,
it's
no,
fucking
I don't
great.
think it. Oh, I don't know
I
how
don't
he
think
does
he's able
it, man.
to. He's not
But
capable of holding back.
the vocal delivery of the instruments is just it's so goddamn funny. It's so good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Nice. I mean, you guys said most of what I want to say.
Yeah.
I will kind of pull back to my own Wayback Machine. I don't remember how I heard about this this coming out before it came out, but I remember I did because I remember knowing that No Means No was going to have a track on it and being totally fucking pumped.
Yep,
Like,
you
oh
buy it.
shit, No
Yep,
Means No
gotta
doing
buy
a
it.
Dead Kennedy. I got to get it.
Yep,
And
that's what
I
did.
remember first playing it and laughing my ass off because it was not at all what I was expecting. Right? I'm like, oh, they're gonna shred this shit up.
Right,
They're gonna be
exactly.
playing so fucking
And
hard.
you're like,
and then they're
hell?
they're singing this goofy ass acapella 1 minute song. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And I remember my only disappointment was like, that's too short. Like, I want
Yeah.
more No Means No on this fucker.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
So after I picked my jaw up off the floor, I probably just listened to it like 8,000 times. But I also
so
think
good.
it's probably one of the best outside of their a cappella cover of it. It's one of the best of the Dead Kennedy songs for them to have covered. It's kind of in its own juvenile way. It's very punkety, but it's kind of in their wheelhouse. But on the other hand, they absolutely take the piss out of its self-seriousness by doing it as this goofy a cappella version.
I
So
know.
it's
Who
the
came
best
up with
possible.
this?
It's the best possible way for No Means No to have taken the piss out of
Yes.
a song that's
Yep.
far too self-serious. For
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good, right? Like,
Uh-huh.
it's just pitch perfect on that.
Who
And
came
yeah,
up
all
with
the
idea
layered.
to do the
I-
acapella?
I hope we get to
hilarious.
hear a little behind the scenes on that. And
You
so
can't-
many layered sounds. You can't pick it all out. It's just too fucking perfect. The production, it's hilarious. Andy's vocals are amazing, absolutely amazing. But everyone's vocals are amazing. It's all just and that ending part, where they it's like you said, Matthew. It's like very, very
Yeah.
faithful to the original just, I mean, a bit of a novelty piece, but the best kind of novelty piece you can imagine.
Yes.
Finally
Totes.
crafted, great little present for all No Means No and Dead Kennedys fans. And yeah, if you haven't ever heard this before, you just have heard it. And it should inspire you to go listen to this whole CD or find it on YouTube. It's pretty fucking great. I think
Wouldn't you
actually
love
all
to
of the
watch
DK
this
stuff is
video
on.
of them
that'd
doing
be
this
hilarious.
too?
There actually someone made a video of this from like they took a clip of 3 stupid nerdy guys like pop locking on the dance floor, and it's hilarious. If you just look up No Means No Forward to Death, this will be like the second thing down. You'll see someone made a fan video of this. So it's hilarious. Yeah, it's like clips from a movie, but it's fucking great. You should go see it. All right, well, time to vote. So I don't get to go first. Matthew, you get to cast our vote. Will it be All the Little Bourgeoisie or Forward to Death? All right, one vote for Forward to Death. Strangey.
I am going to join Matthew and go Forward to Death.
All right. You are both complete fucking idiots, and it's absolutely All the Little Bourgeoisie. We all know that. Everyone out there knows it's absolutely a complete song that's their own song that they wrote them own selves.
Right.
That have some great fucking themes, but Forward to Death's fucking great, so I can't blame you for voting for that. But all right,
Which one did they have more fun recording?
I don't care about that. Forward to Death goes forward. All the Little Bourgeois Dreams, unfortunately, is going nighty-night. We are going to move into our middle segment, which is where we read this week, we're going to read a listener submission. Matthew, you want to give a little pitch before I dive into this reading?
Yeah, so we're enjoying getting your submissions. Please send them to no means nothing podcast at gmail.com. Your No Means No stories, what No Means No means to you, how you discovered them, your story about your stupid buddy who introduced you to them. Send that on in. Tell us which of us you would like to read your submission. Everybody likes to hear these, so please send them your way.
Do the right thing.
Send us your stuff. If you have any technical questions about how to get it to us, just let us know, and we'll figure something out.
Right.
And you can also give us a call on our phone number. It's a Google Voice number. It only records in 3-minute increments, and I'm going to keep doing this for a little while, but we've only had a couple of people ever call us. And so if people don't call us, that's fine. Maybe we'll save it for round 2 when we have a different thing be asking.
Can I crank call it?
I'd love for you to crank that up. But if you'd like to call us, the phone number for our Google Voice number is area code 415-493-8630. That number one more time is 415-493-8630. Operators are standing by. So this week, I am going to read the submission from Rob Young, who sent this in for us. So thank you very much, Rob. And away I go. Thanks for the show. Longtime fan, first-time writer-innerer.
Oh, nice.
I don't really have a No Means No story as such. I haven't met them, haven't put them up, or toured with them, but I do love them, and they've got me through some difficult times.
Nice.
I was a fan of No Means No before I'd ever heard of them. Why? Because at the art college I went to, an absolutely gorgeous student wore their You Kill Me t-shirt. Just seeing that shirt, I knew I had to know more.
Yeah.
Alas, too shy to talk to anyone, let alone a dreadlock Southeast Asian goddess, all I could do was immerse myself in music to get through the day. I discovered the You Kill Me EP in the local record shop, the Left-Legged Pineapple, but was flummoxed by Body Bag. Hey, is that a guy pissing in my ears?
Yes, it is.
Being a kid into thrash, Somebody's and Stop It, it was Somebody's and Stop It that took hold of me. Then on, asking, what is this, to the girl behind the counter of another record shop, Rockaboom, I bought the 0 + 2 = 1 album on cassette on the strength of I Think You Know. Man, what a tune. Easily still one of my top 10 albums. I come from a tiny town, a town full of nothing to do. There was one rock night per week for a few months in the year, and maybe 20 or 30 people would turn up. Pretty much everyone was into Motley Crue, Poison, dressed like a two.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My friend and I would turn up dressed like Mike Patton, circa The Real Thing, and try not to get beaten up on the dance floor. Those guys would dance, in quotes, by playing air guitar for whole songs
Oh,
while we would
God.
throw ourselves about to any slightly thrashier alternative song we had to beg the DJ to play. Once we got him to play I Think You Know, and it cleared the dance floor. The cock rockers in their leather trousers and Big T's hair were baffled. The bewildered DJ let it play, and when it finished, exclaimed through the mic, "What the fuck was that?"
Nice.
I didn't get to see
You're
No Means
goddamn
No
right.
until I didn't get to see No Means No until later, 1995, 96 maybe, at the Grange in London. It was a two drummers tour, and they were ferocious. Before they came on, a guy at the bar started chatting, and he told me he'd seen Rob sitting in the park in the afternoon. "He looks like Barney Rubble," he said.
Oh my God.
That's true. As a budding illustrator, I always carried postcards of my work around, just in case suddenly somebody needed to hire me. When a pause in the No Means No set came, I got to hand one of these cards to John. He took it, looked genuinely pleased, and said, "Hey, this is good, man." Tucked it away and went straight into the next song.
Oh,
They played
cool.
they played Joyful Reunion that night, and it took the roof off.
Mhm.
No Means No have always been with me and always somehow about me, either bent out of shape, cripplingly shy, angry, frustrated, but often thoughtful, sometimes funny, and always hopeful.
Oh,
That's it.
Oh,
Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
And hey, I don't have it handy right now, but I'm going to put it on our Facebook group. I'm going to put a link to his art page because he posted to us in the email the picture he handed up to John.
Oh, cool.
And a bunch of his other art. It's fucking great. This shit.
Oh,
It's fucking
let's see
great.
it.
So people need to take a look. So I'll post that on. I'll post a link to it up on the Facebook group.
That
For
was a
those
good
that
writing.
aren't on Facebook. That was great, man.
Yep.
Rob, fucking fantastic. We love these. We love you guys. We love
Rob.
hearing them. So send them in. You got a little more time before we mix it up and ask for something new and different in round 2, whatever that might be.
I hope after he heard that album, he went up to the cute girl and said, "Hey,
I know, right?
I know what
Hey,
you're
yo,
saying
right?
now.
Hey, baby,
Want to
you
get a
kill me."
coffee?
Oh,
Want to
I
get
like
a coffee?
no. You go up and go like, "I like somebody."
Somebody like
then-
you.
I like
You.
your
Somebody
body.
like you.
Hey there.
Yeah.
I know.
All the little dark holes. Huh?
Oh, that's
Huh?
a little too forward.
That's a little bit too far. Too far.
Got to work your way
pushed
up
it.
to that.
All right, let's move on to our second matchup. And like the first matchup, although flipped in this case, we've got a cover versus an original. And again, a kind of early cover from the same era, 91. This is 91 as opposed to 92, against a later period song. So we're going to put Oh Canaduh from the Oh Canaduh New Age EP, 1991, which is a cover of the Subhumans off of their EP, Death to the Sickoids, Oh Canaduh, 1978. And this is going up against Faith off of All Roads Lead to Ausfart, 2006. So we're going to start with Oh Canaduh from 1991. And I want to listen to a little bit of this one. Short on this one. I don't have a ton to say. Blistering song. I am not a Subhumans knower. They're not a band I have any connection with. So that I'm going to hand in my punk cred card. I've handed it in long ago on this podcast. You all know that my knowledge of the punk pantheon is pretty fucking limited. Certainly I'd never heard the original of this. I have now. And maybe I'll have to make even more enemies by saying I think the No Means No version shreds exponentially over the original. Now, granted, the original's from 78 and it shredded like fuck for that era. It's a good song. But the No Means No version just fucking shreds. It's so fast and tight and great. Now, also, this song is definitely straight out of the Chicago Punk Guide for Punk. This is also a Punky McPunkster song that's straight up Punky McPunk. It's got 3 chords in it. And that's, on repeat. Great, tight shit. It's got lyrics about how bad the government is and society and fuck those guys and I need a job and I'm not going to get one. It's all great.
Yep.
But,
good stuff.
I don't know. It's good stuff, but it's Punky McPunk. It's kind of a little boilerplate. But it's great. It's tight. They kick the shit out of it.
Yep.
They kick the shit out of it. Andy's vocal delivery is tight as I won't say F. I won't say fuck. I just said fuck. It's tight as fuck. And really blistering. The drumming is great. This got that wrong. It's recorded in the wrong era, so it's got that wrong bass sound to it and guitar sound. So it's really, really, really fun. I definitely think it's. I when listening to them side by side, it's an elevation of the original. It comes like 18 years later, so of course, right? Like whatever. I will say that, No Means No were writing songs like Red Devil around the same time as this. So,
Right.
But anyway, great song. I'm sure very important to many Canadians. I'll let Matthew speak on that. Maybe so, maybe not. And certainly probably to a lot of old school punks. So good on you, No Means No. Great song. I got nothing more. Michelle, what do you got for us?
I'll tell you, I'm going to say something about Canada. I went up there about 2 weeks ago when I crossed the border. I started crying. I felt like a huge weight was lifted off to me, and
How did the border guard deal with that?
Oh, you should have heard me in the border guard when he asked me if I had any guns. Now, I don't want to go on the subject right now, but it was right after the Uvalde or what yeah, and I was like, he's like, do you have any guns? I'm like, fuck no. I said that. Whatever. If I get arrested,
you and went, go on through.
Come on in.
We like your kind.
That happened once before when I lived on the East Coast and I was going into Canada and I went through, I was going to Toronto and he's like, what are you going to do up there? I'm like, I'm going to the Hockey Hall of Fame. He's like, all right, come on in.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways. All right, with this, not only does the music kick honey, so do the great pissed off lyrics. Was this originally played by the infamous scientist too? I have a question.
Subhumans.
No. But
you mean, do they cover it?
Yeah.
Well,
That's what I meant.
I don't know.
Not to my knowledge.
Has DOA played
Maybe
this too?
Most likely. I wouldn't surprise me.
I think I've heard a recording where DOA played this, and they would kill it, of course. In Jordan's words, this song is a total banger, and it slays. Except, would you say shred? You said it shreds. It's so fun to hear and is a great FU to the country. Another contender for a great FU to the country, maybe a great FU to the city, is the Shitties song. Ann Drennan is the Antichrist. Oh my God. Matthew, have you heard this? The Shitties album and the song Ann Drennan is the Antichrist.
Maybe
anyways,
at some point.
No.
It's so funny. Craig Bougie plays bass on this. He plays like a 2-string
The
bass.
Shitties SHITTY apostrophe S.
TTYS.
Apostrophe
yes,
S.
yeah. Yeah. Because there's more than one. Anyways, tons of attitude, anger, and pissed off disgust with this one, and I'm looking forward to all the Matthew's comments, as I have quite the phony grass is always greener syndrome when it comes to Canada, and why I want to move there all the time. Kicking tune? Kicking.
Yeah, I bought this the same day I bought 0 + 2 = 1.
Nice.
As I have said before, from Kev Lee of the infamous scientist at his record store Funhouse. And then I went for coffee with my dad and his best friend Fred. And so, yeah, I have good memories. I like the cover art. I was in high school art at the time, and I actually made a plexiglass print of the sort of Mountie as part of my education in printmaking. Probably have it around.
cool.
Probably have it around at some point. Plexiglass
wow.
doesn't go anywhere. So yeah. So being that you don't have a punk education, Jordan, there are two bands called. Well, one is Subhumans, and they're from the UK, and the Subhumans are from Vancouver. So there is actually two.
Yes,
Okay,
I knew that
that's
at
good.
least.
All right,
Yes.
I didn't.
So the Canadian Subhumans actually were a band before the British one, and yeah, they, at least one of them, really practiced what he preached in this song. He was a member, and I'm probably going to get most of this wrong, and people will know the story better than I. His name Jerry Hanna, or Jerry Useless, and he was he went to he was part of a group called the Squamish Five, sometimes called the Vancouver Five, and they were part of a group called Direct Action, and they were part of the bombing of Lytton Industries in Ontario. I don't think Jerry Useless was part of that, but they manufactured the guidance systems for cruise missiles, so they're really putting more money where their mouth is.
Respect Rising off the charts for this song. That's fucking great.
And I don't remember the whole story, but I think they ultimately tagged Jerry Useless for, it was like stolen armored car. It was something like that. It had a gun, and they put him in prison. So he served 5 years of a 10-year sentence. So Joe Keithley from the Joey Shithead and Jill Baffra, they tried to, raise money for him and everything like that, but he pled guilty to the charges and did his time. Anyway, another member, Wimpy Roy, was in DOA, so there's some cross-pollination of those bands and everything like that. Yeah. So one of their Subhumans albums, I think it was a compilation, was called "Pissed Off for Good Reason," and I guess that's true.
That's great.
That's true, and they actually did some shit about it. In the original lyric, the original song is in the Capitol they're sipping their tea, but I think pretty sure in the No Means No versions that in the Capitol the stupid MPs, which is member of Parliament.
Really? I thought it was sipping their tea
so they
too.
changed it up a little bit, even though the lyrics say something else. Yeah.
Dig.
And I think this bit, you're so fucking dumb, you stupid cowboys. That is definitely a BC dig at Alberta, which is our very cowboyish and most right-wing province, filled with oil money, people who don't have better things to do with their money than buy. If you have a jet ski, why not buy a second jet ski? Kind of people.
Wow, so that's your Texas?
That's our Texas, but it's not by any means. And they elected an NDP government, the one government to go. But yeah, they got, in my opinion, their heads up their asses a little bit in terms of resource extraction and that sort of stuff. But there are a lot of Albertans who don't like that reputation, because they're not like that at all. It's just the loud ones who get the reputation. And then there is one little bit in the song "White Wasteland," and I have a feeling there's a little double entendre there. That Canada is a frozen wasteland, but also pretty Caucasian, or at least probably a lot more so back in the late 70s.
Right.
I shouldn't say more so, just that the white people were certainly much more in control, let's say. So yeah, great song, so much fun. They really rip into it, and I always have enjoyed listening to that side more than the other side, which is DOA cover, New Age.
Yep. Which we got to talk about it afterwards. I do not have that in the Terrible Machines. We have to decide. Well, I guess we can't. Got to be fair and put that in there. So
we'll
talk about that.
The DOA cover?
I guess we don't.
No Means No covering a DOA cover.
We're doing this cover. Why? Anyway, we'll talk about it later.
Song.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
meta
see, then
discussion.
it's,
All
oh my
right.
God, I didn't even know that. I don't even have this. Oh my God.
So let's move on to the second song in this pairing. This is Faith off of All Roads Lead to Ausfart, 2006. I'm going to get on my knees, do a little praying, and listen to this one.
She will run away, yeah, run away. She will run away. I call her Faith. I call her Faith. I called her dog, 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 and she came. And she won't run away. Oh no, and I won't run away. No, 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 I won't run away. No, no, no.
Here, boy. Come here.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
All right.
I thought so.
Faith. Boy, I think this is a banger song. I really like this. This is a song I think, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I really enjoy this off of Ausfart. I think this is a great fucking track. This is one of the ones they released a little early when they were giving teasers. And I remember hearing this and thinking, oh fuck yeah, this album's gonna rock. And I wasn't wrong, even though it's not necessarily my favorite No Means No album. One of those songs that starts with the really energetic bridge, almost kind of just like My Politics. It just starts like right in the middle of the of the fucking like sonic barrage. Yeah, just a simple song about someone's loyal dog. That's it, sitting around the fire. It's pretty straightforward. Except dog spelled backward is God.
Right.
So it's really a
Dog is
song,
my
literally
co-pilot.
a song allegorically about faith. It really is about faith, I think. And the dog serves as us, we sheeple. And it's either, how I think how just faith itself uses people, or how people in power use faith. But you've got dog as the stand-in for, the simple masses who faith is used as a way to sort of channel, control, and chain the wilder natural urges that we have. There's all these, dichotomies of, I call your name when the moonlit sky shines in your eyes, with your head hung down as you are prowling all around. Like there's this animal nature, but it always gets called back. Run away. She won't run away, right? She's gonna. I can keep faith on a leash. I can always bring you back and keep you at heel, even though you've got this wild nature in your heart, this wild nature underneath that's really just always right below the surface. And I think the lyrics, first of all, I think Rob's vocals in this are fantastic. He does a great job crooning the song. I think there's a really great verse chorus build in the song. And yeah, later on when we get to the lyrics, I called her Faith, I called her dog, and she came. She's a bitch. She's my little bitch, which is another great double entendre, right? She's not only a female dog, which is a bitch, but she's, when you call someone a bitch, it means that they're like, you're a little bitch. It means that you're under my control. You're nobody that I can just, you're going to do whatever I tell you.
Point at me.
Bitch. And so, well, not you. How about up there?
No, I mean, I know you're not. No, you pointed.
And so,
you were pointing.
And so, it's a great use of the allegory. It's very literal on the one hand about the story of the guy and his dog, and it's also suits the feeling of how faith captures people and turns them into slaves for whatever system they're faithful to. And then right after that, there's this verse, Faith, you walk tamely by my side, but I see the wildness in your eyes. And although I know you wander on your own, I know that when I call you, you'll come home. That great sense of I've got you by the fucking leash. I called her Faith. I called her Faith.
Who's got who though?
Well, I think this is about control. I think this is about using faith, how faith is a system of control, how it's always been used to take these more bestial, natural impulses and bring us to heal to whatever system wants us to have this faith, which is a totally artificial system by those in power over our own natural impulses. And I absolutely adore that last fucking verse. I called her dog, 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 and she came. It's so fucking powerful when Rob really lets loose at the end, gets my hackles up every fucking time, and his delivery is beautiful. I mean, this is kind of a nice little bit of straightforward allegory in a way for No Means No, and calling the dog Faith, and dog spelled backward is God, and you said
Right.
bitch. It's very clever. I think musically it's
Yep,
great,
yep,
and
very
musically
clever.
underneath of it, there's a really good, I really think
He's doing the air guitar.
I think Tom deserves a lot of credit in the song. He's got this nice, soft, muted picking. Like he's doing more complex stuff than the bass in this one, which is unusual for No Means No. And he's playing this great sort of muted line underneath Rob's bass through the verses, not the choruses. But I also think the song has a great verse chorus build, and the way that it not only builds in each verse chorus, but then it adds on as they go through to make them more intense till you get to the end of the song and you have the no, no, no. It's just, I don't know, man. I think this is one of the greats off of Ausfahrt. I think it's a fantastic fucking song. Rob in full form. The drumming, of course, is incredible.
Yes.
Composition is great. I love this song. All right, Michelle, what do you got?
You're getting some amens for me, man. I dig it. I also dig the Nirvana type intro. I don't know. I always gotta compare stuff to stuff.
I
It
hear
just
that.
kind of sounded Nirvana-y, and then it gets down to business. This is the type of song that I appreciate way more live than on a record, because I think it would be excellent to see live. Just the lay down of the lyrics and the passion with the song. Rob says a naughty word. You said it, and then it gets pretty heavy. I really am hoping that this song is about a dog, but it's not, is it? It's not,
Not really.
because I'm just abysmally too literal here.
But it is also. It is about
I
a
know,
dog.
and then I wrote, but knowing how Rob writes, it could be about God too. So I did say that, and I think that's
It's about
just
both.
that's just clever
Yeah.
songwriting, clever composition. The fuzz bass sound that Rob's putting out really sounds heavy as hell, and I like it. Okay, what is the background singing during the part I called her Faith? It kind of sounds weird to me, and I don't even know what they're saying. There's some background.
I think they're
thing.
just saying Faith. I called her Faith.
No,
Faith!
and then there's like, no, isn't he singing something else? Isn't there something kind of weird? It sounds kind of
Not that I
weird to
hear.
me. It sounds a little weird. I don't know. It just gives me the creeps in a bad way. I don't know. It just. Anyways, it's a crunchy, ever-changing, serious song with super interesting guitar parts. I love listening to the cool guitar parts and awesome chords that Tom is playing. He's playing some really complex chords in there, which I really, really like. Awesome. Aces.
Nice.
But it creeped me out about that I don't know what they were saying. It was,
I can't even begin to think
I don't
of
know.
what you're talking about. I'll have to listen to
when
it
he
again.
says I called her Faith, and then there was like Mama's little boy. That was just kind of like the Mama's little boy kind of thing. I don't know. That maybe.
I'll listen more carefully, I guess.
I don't know. All right, Matthew, what do you got for us on this one?
I would love to talk to Rob and have him just say, "Oh yeah, I kind of figured people would think that, but it's actually just about a
It's
dog."
just about a dog. Just a dog.
It's my dog.
I knew a dog named Faith.
Yeah. Well, you know what faithful is in Latin?
Huh?
Fido.
Fido.
What?
There you go.
What,
nice.
what did you just say? Faith?
Beautiful.
Fido.
Faithful.
Really?
in Latin is Fido. That's brilliant.
Holy
Beautiful.
shit! I never knew.
So
No way
the
Rob
dog,
didn't
like
know
the
that.
basic dog name, is named for their faithfulness.
Oh my God, Matthew! I never knew that.
That's
that
brilliant.
makes so much sense to me. That's the best thing I heard all day today.
Yep. That's
Right
Yeah,
there.
so same root as
Holy shit!
You say the same root all the time. Wi-Fi.
Oh, what?
It's a pun on hi-fi, high fidelity.
Hey.
Fidelity. Right. Same root. Anyway,
Wow.
enough about linguistics. Yeah, I love the background vocals in the chorus. This song for me, not a favorite. I guess it's I don't like the real theatrical kinds of ones. I do like where they really get down to it, and Tom's guitar playing really stands out in this one. But yeah, I mean, I'm wondering. I didn't think of the God thing actually. I mean, I did think of like religious faith, but I didn't think that God spelled backwards. But I did think about faith, like personal faith, just or hope or optimism. A dog is eternally hopeful. And so maybe
dogs
that's
rock.
a personification of that aspect of oneself where I want to let it out. It'll always come back. Maybe he's not entirely sure. That do you dream of me when the fire is low and you're lying at my feet? It's like I've got this wild nature at bay. I've got this this thing tamed. I guess faith is it's important to get through life and everything like that. But faith is also turns into zeal when it gets out of control and it makes you do really crazy things. So maybe that religious, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So I'm not sure what his opinion is about this. Like, is he kind of castigating his own tendency to be able to tame that part of himself? Maybe he wishes that it would be a little wilder. Maybe he hasn't got.
He seems like a cat guy to me, anyways.
All that respect
I don't know about
for
this dog stuff. Rob's a cat guy.
It's sort of like I'm definitely a cat guy too.
Yeah, you are.
I do like dogs. I like other people's dogs, but dogs like to know where they are in the hierarchy. And cats do too, but it's different. They are, I think, fundamentally, I don't think they think they're the bosses necessarily, but they do think that they are your equal.
Yeah.
Or that you're not a competitor. That's about the best you'll get from a cat.
Oh man, we could do a whole episode on that. Jesus Christ.
Sure. I do like the part where he really sings at the end. But again, this song just I never really cohered for me as a favorite. Probably not one of my favorites on that album.
Wow.
All right, well, let's vote. And I know where you guys are going to fucking vote. And I cannot believe this episode for me. I'm going to hold this one in prime infamy for your fucking idiotic choices. My vote is 100% for Faith. I cannot imagine giving it to a cover of a song. So Faith, which is an original song, is going to get my vote.
You're talking about the Homeland, though.
That's great. No, it's a great song. Oh, Canada's great. It's great. It's fine. It's great. What's your vote, Michelle?
Oh, God, I think I just said it. I voted for Oh Canaduh. D-U-H. I like the duh at the end.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Matthew.
I gotta give it to Oh Canaduh as well.
You better. You're gonna get arrested. Oh no!
Which one's more fun for me to listen to? It's not
I cannot. I
Jordan.
Absolutely cannot believe that two
out
cover songs.
Raft. I know.
Two cover songs.
By
fucking
Canadian
made
bands.
It through.
Yeah.
I know, you're sitting on
Dead
a raft
Kennedys
out
is
in the
not
ocean.
a Canadian band.
Oh, sorry,
Fuck
one by a
that.
Canadian band.
Yeah,
a Canadian band by
okay.
a Canadian band. That's all right.
Well,
Close
listen,
enough.
many of you probably agree with them. Some of you are absolutely gobsmacked like I am. This to me is a Baldwin must die moment. I'm back to Baldwin. That was how we started this whole thing. Now we're almost ending it, and I cannot fucking believe this shit.
Oh no.
My son is gonna like throw up in his
I'm waiting for him to open the door and just kick in there like, what the fuck?
I'm going to tell him this is going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, but this is the rules. I don't make the rules. Well, I did make the rules. But
you did make the rules.
So,
and you punk asses didn't have Life in Hell go through, so I'm still pissed about that.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, it didn't go through. That's going to be.
Listen, we still have the Second Chance Saloon. I doubt that either of these will go through Second Chance Saloon. These two songs. I don't necessarily think they're worth that, but. I think we're finally. I think we're saying goodbye forever to All the Little Bourgeois Dreams, although I implore everyone to go listen to that one again. Forward to Death is moving forward in the bracket. Oh Canaduh, fucking I guess, is going through, and Faith is being unfaithful, and
God.
people just want to cheat all over that fucker and are sending it down to the basement. So let's lock away the key and swallow it and lock it away.
Oh no.
And there we go, everybody. That's how this
Wow.
game is played. That's how this game is played. So let's go ahead and go to a little palate cleanser, which I need very badly. Andy's correction corner. Now this week, Matthew's gonna. Oh, you know what I didn't do? God damn it! But I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it
You
in
didn't go
afterwards.
pee?
No. I'll talk about it after you read about some bodies, Matthew. Read this and then pause for a second because I want to talk about something I'm gonna add in post production here. So go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, be glad Matthew's reading it, not me. That's for sure.
No, don't be like
No,
that.
no, come on, just read it in your beautiful way.
I am going to just oh, my computer's lagging a little bit. I'm gonna not full screen you guys so that I can put it in front of my face so that I'm not talking to the side of the microphone.
Perfect.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, that needs to be front and center in the mic because this is good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Andy's Correction Corner. I like some bodies. I don't hate some bodies. A simple song about simple things, really. Musically, there are very few riffs, and most of those get repeated and repeated. Again, James Brown is hiding in there somewhere. The words came very easily. Everybody needs somebody, someone to love. So sang Solomon Burke. Well, this song is about that, but it's also about the deep desire for a physical relationship. Our hearts may yearn for a connection with another, but our biology is right there next to it, vying for attention. Sex mad indeed.
Oh no, I knew it.
In Mushroom Studios, where we recorded the You Kill Me EP, they had a little table video game console. When we were waiting around while various things were getting sorted, we'd head to the little entrance hall to the studio and play the video game. Keeping in the Lensing tradition of sound effects on our recording. That's he wrote sigh in parentheses there. We thought it would be fun to record some sounds from the video game and bring them into the mix. So that's where all those odd noises came from.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so this is where we're going to pause because Andy went on an investigative rabbit hole on this.
That's right,
First
Jordan.
of all, I think this is fucking hilarious and the best sort of like, okay, you fucking idiots, sort of that we've had yet about how much I know. I personally went, oh, I bet the sounds mean this and they represent this. It's like, no, man, it's just a tabletop fucking video game they thought sounded cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's to me, my pretentious fucking idiotsness. But Andy went and said like, what video game was that? We kind of went back and forth. He went on Reddit and found out it's from the Intellivision Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So now I don't have it queued up for you guys. Yep, but I don't have this queued up for you guys, but I'm going to put it in post. I'm going to put in a little of the original audio that was taken from the Intellivision Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice. Okay.
All right, listener, you just heard some good selections from that. So now, next song up.
Small Parts Isolated and Destroyed. We tried with the production of the Day Everything / Small Parts sessions to have a unique sound for each song to create a kind of mixtape effect for the listener.
Succeeded.
In the song Small Parts Isolated and Destroyed, we tried to have different mixes within one song. The song was written and arranged by Rob in the time his voice was starting to recover from the operation to remove the nodules on his vocal cords. I remember his demo with bass, guitar, and voice. Pretty much the arrangement was all there. When we started to rehearse it, John and I just filled it in a bit. So fun to play live. So many cool parts to look forward to when we were doing it. I only ended up singing the lion's share of the vocals because at that time Rob's voice wasn't ready for a song like that. He saved what voice he had for other songs like Slade, Victory, and Real Love, and I'm glad he did. According to Scott Henderson, the longer we played Small Parts song in our live set, the more drawn out the verse and chorus became. Inspired by this, he penned a musical piece called Familiarity Breeds Rubato. As for the opening line of the song, it uses part of a quote from Johnny Rotten as the Sex Pistols' last show in San Francisco in 1978. At the end of their set, Rotten/Lydon said it to the crowd. Ever get the feeling you've been cheated? Ha ha ha. Good night. Hours later, he quit the band.
Oh, nice.
What about me? Can I get in for free?
Oh,
Fucking awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Get in
But he
for
never
free
actually
to
told
a
us
no
what
means no show.
small
Jesus.
parts means. What are the small
No,
parts?
well, no, that's good. Like I don't.
Yeah, I
Andy
know,
doesn't
I know.
need to tell us what the
We don't
songs
need
mean,
to
right?
peek
That's-
behind that
that's
kimono.
That's
that's-
not.
no. That's
That's
us
not
to get
anything.
it completely wrong and read too
No.
much into it.
No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have reached the end of another episode. This one is not as epic as others. We're only going to be about hour, not even an hour and a half, probably. So we're
Oh, really?
on these songs cutting a little bit. Well, I didn't have a 30-minute fucking orgasm over it. So.
Come on. No, that was great. I've heard
no,
that
this
a
is
couple
great.
of times. You
I
killed
love
it on
these.
that.
I love these songs. These are
Yep.
4 great fucking songs, and
Mhm.
it's both exciting and a little bit sad that we're reaching the end of round. I can't talk too much whiskey. Round 1. Anyway, you know the drill. No Means No is produced and edited by yours truly, Jordan Flato.
Yes.
Co-hosting and podcast graphics are by Matthew Kowalik.
Oh, yeah.
Mistel Strangest is our third and
Mistel.
everyone's favorite co-host
I don't
and
know about
official
that.
Foley artist.
That's for
Shout
sure.
out to our official mascot, Teddy.
Hey, Teddy.
Thank you to No Means No for the use of stock taking as our intro and outro music. It's raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring, and I'm falling. I'm falling. For the last draw of the night. We've only got a few more of these left. And holy shit, there's really not that much songs left on the roster. So let's see.
I forgot about getting my paper.
Ooh, I know one of these very well, and I cannot fucking wait to listen to it 8 billion times.
That means that I don't.
No, I think you'll love it too, I think.
Oh, yes. Actually,
Right?
I
I mean,
do. Yes.
fucking A.
Yes,
Give me a
right.
Give me a shitball. That song I could listen to like 8 billion times straight.
Nice save.
All right, and here's the next one. This is a good, interesting pairing. Again, another song in here I do not fucking know at all because it's a rarity.
Huh?
Yeah, there's an actual song with that title. Look it up on YouTube's, I think.
I think I'm going to have to.
Yeah, there's two in here. Again, an interesting pairing. How it did, I don't know. This machine kicks ass in its own way.
Is there spaces in between?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh.
All right, everybody. Well, you've reached the end of another secret bit, and stay tuned because we're in the absolute home stretch. Not final yet, but home stretch. And until then, fuck off.